Hi, thanks for joining me. Today we're in the garage doing a little upgrade on Goldie. I've had her now for nearly 4 months. We've covered something like 1700 miles together and thoroughly enjoyed every one, and I don't have any complaints about the bike. Unfortunately, I can't say that about the state of the roads we have to ride on. They just seem to get worse. Recently there's been a number of posts on Facebook groups about the upgraded suspension kits now on offer from TEC Bike Parts. Good reviews about improvement to ride quality and the price caught my interest, so I decided to give it a go and bought both front and rear sets. Also, the rear shocks are shrouded. I think they look a bit more in keeping with the style of the bike, but that's just a personal thing. So what do you get? Firstly, there's the front fork full upgrade kit. These include progressive springs, fork top preload adjusters and all the spacers etc. that you need. And for the rear, we've got the Girl-In style shrouded shock absorbers, and they come complete with the C-spanner to set the 5-way adjustable preload. You also get a sheet of instructions for each kit. Now the fitting looks real easy, so we'll just get stuck in and do it. For the rear shocks, there's no need to jack the bike up or anything. You can just do it on the side stand. Doing one side at a time, we first need to remove the top and bottom nuts. Now I was expecting 19mm, but they're actually 18mm. Don't forget big flat washer behind each one. The shockers simply pull off the studs now. The bike will sag a bit on just one shock. The new ones just push back on the same studs. You just have to lift the bike a little bit. Make sure that the inner washer is still in place on both studs. Don't bother putting the retaining nuts back on yet. Next, remove the top and bottom retaining nuts and slide the old shock off the other side, but don't fit the new one yet. In the instructions it tells us that the damper need priming to ensure that the gas bubble that's part of the damping system is at the top. Apparently this can move in storage or in transit. The priming just involves compressing the shock to the bump stop several times. The easy way to do this is just push the back of the bike down like this. We can now fit the shocks to the other side. Again, lift the back end a bit to line up the studs with the bushers and just push it on. Don't forget flat washers on the inside and outside, top and bottom, and the nuts can be tightened on this one. Now we're going to remove the first shock again. Prime the other by bouncing the bike down on the bump stops a few times, then we can refit the first one and tighten the nuts. That's it, job done. One spanner and about 10 minutes. The front fork springs are a bit more involved, but still very straightforward. It's easy job to do. You'll need the bike sat upright and with the weight off the front wheel, in whatever way you normally do that. I've also put a cloth over the tank just in case I drop a spanner or something. Doing one side at a time, unscrew the top fork nut. You'll need a 22mm socket for that. I've put a bit of tape around the nut as advised in the instruction sheet, so the anodizing isn't damaged. You never know, you might want to reuse these caps again someday. There's a steel disc under the cap. Mine jumped out as I removed it. This isn't needed in the upgrade. Now we can pull out the steel spacer tube. It just lifts out with your fingers. Next we need a bit of wire. Just bend a hook on the end and lower it down the centre of the tube and hook the spring out. There's a large steel washer on top of the spring which we do need, so put that to one side. Lift the spring out a bit, then stick the wire through it and leave it just to drain for a few minutes. Now we can take the spring right out and replace it with the new progressive one. Fit it with the tighter wound coils to the top and drop in the large washer that came out with the old spring. Now the chances are the big washer won't sit down flat, so just look down the tube with a torch, make sure it's flat onto the top of the spring using your bit of wire. Now drop in the black plastic spacer tube that came with the kit. There's also a second washer included with the new adjustable caps. This should be laid on top of the spacer. Don't use the solid disc from the original setup. We now need to remove the large rubber O-ring from the groove in the old fork top cap and fit it into the groove on the new cap. It's easy to do, it'll just roll off and back on again with your fingers. You also need to screw the centre adjuster nut right out so it's at its lowest setting. Use a 19mm socket for that. You can now fit the new cap to the top of the fork leg. It's a 32mm socket this time. Put some tape round the hexagon to protect it against the socket again, as you did when removing the old cap. You'll need the socket to just put a bit of downward pressure and compress the spring a little as you screw it in. Just make sure the thread screws in properly. Don't cross thread and don't force it. Screw it right down and nip up, but don't over tighten it. It's aluminium and it's a fine thread. We're going to repeat this for the other side now. The only problem here is that the brake master cylinder is just in the way. An 8mm spanner or socket removes the two bolts that holds the top half of the bracket on. Remove it and just move the master cylinder out of the way a little. Unscrew the old cap and remove it with the solid disc that's underneath it. Lift out the steel spacer tube. Hook out the spring and the large washer that sits on top of it, and then just prop the spring up to drain for a little while. Swap the old spring for the new one, not forgetting to have the tight wound coils to the top. Drop in the large flat washer and just make sure it's sitting flat on the top of the spring. Put the new black plastic spacer tube in, and don't forget the new flat washer on top of it. Screw in the new cap after first fitting the large O-ring off the old cap and screwing the adjuster nut right out. Then you can nip that up. The instruction sheet says that the standard ride height is with the adjusters in the middle. It gives 5mm positive and 5mm negative adjustment. At this stage I'm going to set the preload to the halfway point using a 19mm socket, and then adjust when I see how it rides. Just the front brake bracket to refit now, then we're all done. The whole job, start to finish, for both front and rear suspension, that's taken well under an hour. Everything's fitted well, no problems, very straightforward, quite happy with the fitting. What we need to do now though is see how it actually feels on the road. So we'll get it ready and off out for a little test ride. I've chosen a little route that I know is very rough and bumpy in places, and at first impressions that it certainly seems smoother over the bad bits. Cornering and general handling, it's a bit early to tell. I'll need to run it a bit and maybe try it on different preload settings, but at this stage I'm pretty happy with it. Visually, well, I think the shrouded shocks are more in keeping with the style of the bike, so to me that's an improvement. So what's the cost? Well, the rear shocks are only £79.99 the pair, and the front spring upgrade kit is £139.99, so not going to break the bank. I've not set out to do a review as such here. It was really a step-by-step how to fit it as I've done mine. I'll wrap it up there and let you know how I get on with it in future travels. Hope you found it helpful. Don't forget to leave a like, drop me a comment, and if you want to watch more of my ramblings, please subscribe to the channel. Hope you can join me again, and cheers for now.